We're live.
Hello?
Wait, what's happening? Why isn't the video playing?
La maudite Davy Show.
I have seen the dark shadows moving in the woods, and I have no doubt that whatever I have resurrected through this book is sure to come calling for me.
David, you look absolutely terrific, honestly. You've got like glue on.
This is where the worst begins. This is where we must stop. For beyond is the work of madness. The nightmare of insane murder and lingering death. Get inside and lock your doors. Close your windows.
Someone is watching you. Someone is waiting for you. Someone wants to scare you to death.
This is Albert from the Tuesday Show. You're listening to the goddamn Dave Hill Show, now on a flipping Monday.
I get it. I'm an angel witch. Jeez, enough already. You know?
Can't be reminded.
Did you ever get
all the time, but it's okay. I roll with it.
The thing that I don't thing I don't get about Angel, like they're singing it like it's a bad thing to be an Angel Witch, but they named their band Angel Witch, right? So it's got to be a good thing to be
They
an Angel
realize
Witch.
there's a power in it that, they're submitting to it to the point where they have to subject themselves to the Angel Witch as a burden almost, maybe. I don't know.
I guess so. We got to get to the bottom of this. You would think by now
We got
I
a
would
long
have
way to
some
get there.
insight
It's
into this subject.
sometimes
But anyway, what I meant to say is hello and welcome to the gosh darn / goddamn Dave Hill's podcasting incident show, whatever. Just smush it all together.
it's all one.
I am in an unmarked van. When I actually thought of this tonight. Anyway, thank you for joining us. As you can see, it's the original me and Des tonight. Chris, I think, is joining us later, but he's an elusive. He's a prick. No,
He's
he's
on the
got
late
something
bus.
he has to do. What's that?
He's on the late bus. It's cool.
He's on the late bus, but I think he's going to be joining us in a matter of a little bit. Anyway, we have a really incredible, as always, an incredible hour and a half of good radio, good times, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, whatever format you're listening on iTunes later, whatever. It's going to be incredible. I'm not sure if I've gotten have I got my lighting better now? I don't want it to be
It
too
seems like-
much.
it's not so harsh, so it's pretty good. The shiny map behind you kind of reflects a bright light over your shoulder, but that could just be good fortune. I don't know.
It's good fortune.
Yeah.
But this is so we have an incredible show. One of my favorite people. She doesn't even know it. She's gonna find out that she's probably doesn't realize it. She's one of my always puts me in a good mood.
Excellent.
Chemda Khalili, or Chemda as she is known normally. I don't really nail the pronunciation as well as her co-host Keith Malley does. She's one half of course, one of the greatest podcasts of all time, Keith and the Girl, one of the I would argue OG podcasts, one of the longest running podcasts before.
I was doing a little homework, and I think it goes all the way back to 2005.
It does. It goes exactly back to 2005.
All the way.
And I was thinking about this. I don't want to waste this on you, Des. I'm gonna save this gold, but I'll just say it now anyway.
Thank you.
I remember in the early days of podcasting, this guy sent me he's like, hey, check out my podcast. And I was like, what is that?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, you listen to it. You can listen to it on your iPod when you're walking around. And I was just like, what are you talking about? That's insanity. Don't ever contact me again. This guy.
Yeah.
And now look at it. Now you have Joe Rogan.
Oh, he hit the big time. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to be smart and make some comment about him and his listeners, but I'm just going to let that float on down the river because I don't want to screw up my chances of one day being on the show.
Sure, you never know. Life's funny.
Oh wow, we're hitting the big time. Someone in the chat want to become famous, buy followers, primes, and views on your follows. We're being spammed. That's got to be good, right? That means we're doing well, right? We're getting spammed,
getting noticed. Moving up.
That's a good feeling. Getting spammed. And little do they know. Do I want to become famous? I've been famous for months now.
This whole time.
I mean, come on. Someone commented on my shirt that says Portland, I think, or maybe they didn't. Maybe I just saw them. Someone said Portland, and my shirt does say Portland. Just coincidentally, I grabbed it out of the lawn. It says Portland Rosebuds. It's like an old-timey defunct hockey team.
Okay.
And
did they play the Rose Garden there?
That's a good question. I don't know.
1-1.
James.
Yes, sir.
I want to share something. Before we bring Chemda on. I'm bad at that. Well, I'll discuss proper name pronunciation when she's here. But I want to share with you. This is what happened to me, and this is I was talking to actually Chris Gersbeck earlier and some other friends earlier today, and one of the friends said, "Hey, this story could trigger someone," which is not my intention.
Okay.
I don't mean it to be a negative story, even though it's shrouded in negativity.
I can't wait.
But the end of the story, I feel like, is the upside of it. Is what was the reason I bring it up. But as you know, I live in New York City, but I've been hiding out in this tiny little town in northeastern Ohio for a while during this crazy time we're in. And Saturday, I was minding my own business, doing something cool. I don't remember.
Okay.
And my girlfriend's like, "Hey, Dave, you got to come outside." And I'm like, "What? I don't want to come outside. I'm doing something cool." And she's like, "No, you got to come outside." And the house that we're in is right on the lake, right on Lake Erie. Like you could throw a rock into Lake Erie from I'm not even that good of a throw, and I could do it.
Okay.
And so she's like, "Get out of here." So I guess they have these things like Trump supporters have, like, they get all their boats and stuff, and they go down, and so they got a permit, and a bunch of them got together, a few dozen of them. They claimed there was 300 boats. I watched, it was not.
Okay.
And they go, so they're cruising along the shores of Lake Erie, right in front of the house where I'm staying, with Trump flags and American flags, and then of course Confederate flags, because we're in Ohio,
right,
just a few hundred miles away from the South.
Yeah.
And so I went down ostensibly to laugh at these people and head back to the house. But as soon as I saw the Confederate flags, I just like, oh fuck, it's like basically like a Klan rally at sea. And so I started, just because we're right on the water, we're right there, I'm just like, fuck Trump. I'm just yelling fuck Trump, right? I'm not saying fuck you,
right?
I'm just saying fuck Trump,
right?
And so then they hear me, because I'm literally right there. They can see me. I'm standing there with my dog. I've got a mug of coffee, and I'm just, relaxing on a Saturday, yelling fuck Trump, and they're like, fuck you. And they start calling me homo and faggot, like, over and over, repeatedly. Right. And then this guy on a jet ski comes really close, like right up to the shore. And he's like, you faggot, I'm going to pull over and get off my jet ski and come fight you.
Okay.
And so I'm just like, do it. Come fight me. Come fight me. Because I know he wasn't going to.
Right.
And nor would I have, because I don't want COVID-19, and I don't want my dog to get involved.
Sure. I would have gotten off.
And, never get in a fight when you have a sweet dog with you.
Cup of coffee.
So he's like,
no reason.
Yeah. I'm just, so he's like, I'm going to get off this jet ski and come fight you. And I'm just like, dude, you're a guy on a jet ski. You're in no position to be calling anyone any names.
Right.
You can't call anyone. I mean, you should never call anyone a faggot, but you should never you're not in a position to judge anyone when you're on a jet ski.
When you can scoot right
that's
away,
like being
or
a scooter or a hang glider or something.
Yeah. Well,
you're in a position. I'm not against those things.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. Those things are fun. Sure,
You're not against name calling nor jet skiing, but combined together.
No, I'm against name calling. Name calling.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on the name, I guess.
True.
But homophobic things and slurs and this and that, I don't condone any of that. But But this guy was just like, get over yourself. You're on a jet ski. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I start walking back to the house, and then the neighbors across the street, and I'm in like a deep red state, Ohio, and
Right.
I've never talked to these people. And so you kind of don't know what anyone's deal is, what side they're on in any of this.
They know
and
yours.
so they're all standing on the front lawn and they're like clapping. They're like, "Thank you." And so I was like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
Right.
And so anyway, all by way of saying, my point of the story is I made friends on Saturday.
That's great.
It's the reason I brought it up.
Have you got
So there? I've seen them. I see them in the morning when I take the dog out and stuff.
Make some plans.
And I give them I keep thinking that they'll be like, "Hey, we should get that cool guy who yells at people from the shore. We should get that guy to come over." I probably wouldn't, because I'm afraid of all humans at this point. But
social distance is an easy thing to achieve. It's not so bad.
Yeah, maybe I would at a distance or something. I was watching the news.
Okay.
And I felt a tiny bit of hope because Oxford University, E.J. Crane says, "I had no idea people said things like that nowadays." This is the thing. We're in a global 5th grade now. This is what all this reminds me of, the name calling. And it reminds me, I've said this before, probably to you, Des, but I do remember, I'm an old man. And I remember a time when you would go to your friend's house after school and he'd be like, "Hey, let's go to Billy's house." And I'm like, "Who's Billy? He doesn't go to our school." And they'd be like, "Oh, he just lives down the street. He goes to another school." And you go to Billy's house and he's like a kid whose like parents let him play with a BB gun. Right. He's got like swastikas written on his notebook and stuff.
Chinese stars.
He's just like, he's got Chinese stars. He's got like weapons. He's mean to his dog.
Gotcha.
And that's who these people are. And that's exactly where we are now. Anyway, but I don't want to dwell in the negativity. I want the positive thing is I feel like my neighbors we hit it off, even though we just waved at each other.
Yeah. It's a start. It's a start.
Yeah, so we'll see. I feel like after this weekend, there'll be more. I'll be like, well, guess who makes the best cornbread? My neighbors. I'll have stories. I'll know things. I'll know about their interests and things like that. And I'll report back.
Yeah.
Oh, but what I was saying is on the news, they were, I guess, Oxford. Yes, thank you, Tracy Dunbar, reminding me where I was. Oxford University is making strides in a vaccine.
They're getting
for COVID-19.
Yeah,
and they had the guy on, and I trust people when they speak with an English accent. They're like,
generally,
"When's this going to be ready? Next year sometime?" And he was like, "I think it could be this year if it all goes well." So, anyway, so I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
How quickly would you be comfortable getting the vaccine? Like when it was available, how long you want to?
Oh, if a stranger bursts in this room with the vaccine right now, I would be like, "Put it in." Without question.
We're pretty sure that it'll be okay. We rush it along pretty quickly, but we think it'll be good. But
I'm a fan of any medication from way back. I do not worry about any side. If someone's like, "Oh, side effects are this and that, you're gonna shit your pants," I'm like, fine. I was gonna shit my pants anyway. Bring it on. I don't care.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So I don't mind. I'm not gonna wait around.
Gotcha.
And see how it goes. Okay. I'm gonna be all in. And I'll be like, "So what? My one leg is 6 inches shorter than the other now. I don't care."
It's all worth it.
Yeah.
They got you for that.
I figure, me at my best is not the best. You know what I mean? So if there's side effects, how much worse could it be than where I already am now?
We've been dealing with side effects all along anyhow. So
yeah,
a couple more.
I mean, the side effects in a bag of like Cheetos alone can't be any worse than whatever side effects are coming down the pike with this. In my medical opinion, this is just my medical opinion. So whatever. I feel like we should bring our guest on. I see her in the what's it called? The on deck circle in there. Yeah, in the bullpen. I know you know sports better than I do. But let's get her in here. And I thought I knew a lot about her, and then I was like, I'm gonna do a little research, and I learned more, and then I learned even more, and that's the thing I'm most excited.
It's funny
to ask her about.
Excellent.
And
follow
and
up.
So there. Oh, we should say, by the way, before we do this, and I'll get this out of the way, as always, we like to raise money for a good cause every week. And so once again, tonight, as we did last week, we're raising money for Black Lives Matter. We're going straight to the top. The Black Lives Matter. So go to the virtual tip jar, Venmo at the Dave Hill, PayPal Dave at DaveHillOnline.com. That's Venmo at the Dave Hill, PayPal Dave at DaveHillOnline.com. And all the money we raise tonight will go to Black Lives Matter. And of course, yes, you can just go and donate on your own without sending it into the show first, if you want. But I think it's more fun to be, as I've said before, if we're not raising money for a good cause while we're doing it, then it's pretty much an hour and a half of me making dick jokes and whatever else happens. So I like to feel good that we're doing something for a good cause. And so we raised quite a bit of money last. We had a slump a couple of weeks ago. We're back.
Well, good. All right.
We raised a decent amount of money last week. So all money to Black Lives Matter that we raised tonight. And it'll be in the name of this show and its listeners. Venmo at the Dave Hill, PayPal Dave at DaveHillOnline.com. I get notifications, most of them, not all of them, as I learned during this show. And I read your names off, and it's a linguistic fireworks display of good times when that happens. So please get those donations. And we'll buy this actual conversion band that's in the background one day. Well, I've said this before. One day we will raise funds strictly for cocaine, which I've never done before. And I don't really intend to, but I would like to raise money ostensibly for cocaine and then not use it for that. But anyway,
that van would be
here we go.
Use it though, for sure.
Matt Arnold, and I keep delaying. This is the longest guest introduction ever. He says cunning linguist, which I remember Deep Purple. If I can bring up Deep Purple, like the aging white guy I am.
It's okay.
I mean, I think everyone should listen to Deep Purple, but they made that record Perfect Strangers that came out in the 80s, 86, I think.
Okay.
And it was like their comeback album. And then one of the songs, they had a line about a common cunning linguist. Mm-hmm. And I remember being just a pretty young thing when this came out and think, well, that's saucy language. And then I thought, these guys are like in their 40s. Aren't they better than that? But I also thought it was kind of funny that grown men would write those lyrics.
And
I thought it was... And I really enjoyed the record too.
So there you go.
They're a great band. So anyway, but we can't go from that, then bring Chemda on. But we will anyway. She's one of my favorite people in the world. From Keith and the Girl, here is Chemda Khalili. And let's see if I nail it. Hello.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Des.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for agreeing to this nonsense.
Nonsense is the best, and you have the best of it.
It is, isn't it? The best. I'm pro nonsense myself. As Turd Farmer 101 says, "Holy shit, a female." Yes, we've done it.
We've had a few.
We have, but the problem of the many, and I could speak straight on up until 10:30. Of the many problems with this show, among them is that right out of the gate, when we have me, Des, and Chris. It's a sausage party before we've even brought a single guest on.
Yeah.
So we've gotten.
Here you are taking action. You're proving
we're
them
taking
wrong.
action. We're
You're totally
proving them
pro-female. Anyone who yells at Trump supporters like that, not at Trump supporters, you said fuck Trump. Anyone who does that might be a friend to females. Might. I'll take that chance.
I think so. I think I am. I'll even go further. I've been flat out terrified of females my whole life. Which I'm not saying that's a compliment, but having 3 sisters and a mother, I'm starting at a place of
disadvantage.
Just terror.
I'm not buying that at all. You just have this guy on a boat passing through and you're like, get out, I'm gonna get you. you turned up the badass so quickly. You're like, yeah, I want you to get out of your boat. I want it now.
Well, I just think you have to. Well, I'm not saying everyone should run out there and behave. My point is, when this started, when I say started, I mean when the current president was elected, I committed, because the whole thing that I think Michelle Obama said, they go low, we go high, and I said right when it happened, I said, but I will go lower. I'm here to go lower for everybody. I'll always
vouch for that. Yeah.
I'll go for the crotch and the knees. While everyone else is going high, I'm going absolutely low.
At a supermarket, there's a shelf that everyone needs to reach. So reach for yours. There's a shelf there.
Yeah, thank you.
You'll get the good cereal, but it'll be in the cheap packaging. But that's pretty good. Save some money.
Oh yeah.
That's what getting low.
That. I went to the grocery store today. And every time I go every few weeks, and then
Tell
I
us
spend
about
the rest of. Oh no, you're the guest. I'm not going to spend the next 10 minutes. I probably will, but I spend the rest of the day feeling like, okay, now I've got it. I've got the virus.
I was definitely doing that in the beginning. It's kind of like what it sounds like when someone gets a new baby. They're all delicate and precious about it. I used to walk back into my house like I'm about to do surgery, just hands half up.
Oh yeah.
As if the germs are not, like, oh, maybe if I put my fingers to the sky, the germs will go in a way that, or maybe it's reminding me not to touch any furniture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little more lenient now, but I heard that the surfaces aren't the concern that they thought it would be. So that's the good news I'm bringing. That's not news at all to anyone.
No, that is true. I used to be so, but today I took some mail in, and then I couldn't remember whether I washed my hands, and I rubbed my eye, and I was like, I've done it. So
the rest of your day is shot after that.
Yeah, completely.
You got to take a COVID nap, COVID cry, whatever it does, whatever you need to do, get it out.
I might have a COVID cry. I don't know if I'm capable of I did have a thought today where I was just like, oh God. I have that thought every day. I was just like, oh God.
That's quite the relationship with the Lord you have there.
Oh God. Show yourself. If not now, spiritual. When? Yeah. But I want to. Well, should we I see Chris now here. Should we let him in the room? Just let him in, even though I'm just furious at him for being late. Let's let him in. Let's let him in. There's Chris.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Chris.
Hi,
Chris. Now we've so
Full house.
Chemda. I'm pronouncing your name right. Pretty close.
Yeah, there's a letter in my name that doesn't exist in the English language, so everyone gets a pass here. It's Chemda.
But it's like Chemda.
Yeah, I think you say it really great.
I leaned into you don't want to lean into it so much where you make the scratching sound like I did, though, do you? Chemda.
I think it's perfect, really. Yeah, and if you can't say that, Chemda is great.
Okay, but so I should just go Chemda.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the sound. It's unbelievable, but it is the sound.
Okay. So my follow-up question to that is: you are known primarily as Chemda, as like Cher is Cher, Madonna, but your last name. And I asked Chris. I said, why do we primarily know her as Chemda?
Mhm.
Well,
See, now I'm
because it
thinking
sounds
about
like
it too much.
the one name is giving people enough of a time. So
Yeah,
to
why?
introduce that second name, let's just get one name at a time. Once we get used to that, we'll introduce more.
I've never met
But
any
then
other
this-
Chemdas too, so you've got that cornered.
I dominate Google.
You do, yes. But your last name is Khalili. Am
Yeah.
I pronouncing that right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not hard. It's like Khalil Gibran.
Yep.
And then you add an E, another E sound.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
my
DJ
mnemonic device
Khaled, but totally different.
Yeah. I still don't know what that guy does all this time. Still have no idea. I know I just saw on Spotify he has another song coming out with somebody. And I'm like, I still don't know.
I think on
I
his
guess I could listen
taxes-
to it.
On his taxes, I think he writes escort. So you just kind of like let it pass. Just be cool. Nobody knows what he
You
does.
gotta be. No,
Can
you
put escort on your taxes? They let you
You
do
can. Yeah, you can.
that? Oh, wow.
Hmm.
You can put escort?
Yes. I interviewed a sex worker. He actually does go and have sex with people, and he can put escort because technically they're paying for his time. And if his penis happens to go somewhere, that's different.
It's like a side benefit type of thing.
Yeah. Like you also had, wine that night, but you're not a sommelier.
That's true.
Boy.
You raise a good point.
Oh, yeah. Taxes, you know.
Yeah, that's no, gosh, we can't. That's a whole other. Whew. But I wanted to. Chris shared with me. I didn't know the whole story. Well, you have this 1 minute. Oh, do you pronounce it OMAT?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
OMAT, 1 minute at a time.
At a time, and I haven't had a chance to dive in fully, but I'm excited to make it a part. Couldn't be more up my alley.
Oh, sweet.
This a weekly program with different exercises, and but then the story, and then I watched the video of you doing the Bob Ross challenge, which was awesome.
That was my life's dream. So, if I die now, everything's cool. I painted to Daddy Bob and everything's all right.
How did that come about?
There's a series that allowed me to be involved. So every episode, they have someone who paints the Bob Ross painting in the time that Bob Ross paints it on TV. So you have a half hour and you're doing it real time.
That would stress me out so much.
Oh, I thought it would be so much fun. I was just about to sweat through my shirt. It was, he's all calm and his voice is really mellow. And you could put a happy tree on the right and you can't do anything wrong. And I'm like, I think I'm doing something wrong. Oh my God. His trees don't look like mine. By the way, that's how I paint. I don't know if you could see me punching.
Yeah. I love, but you're painting, and people can watch this on the internet. They can search this out. But I thought I really liked your painting.
Thank you.
would, in many ways, I liked it better than Bob Ross's painting. I'm not afraid to say that.
That's why you're my best friend.
In the world,
in the world, in the universe, in the atmosphere,
in yeah, totally, yeah, and beyond. It was so, yeah, but yeah, I really like the painting because Bob Ross should be like, it's very nice, but
yeah.
But yours, I was like, that tells a story.
Oh, that's a new way to compliment.
That tells. No, I think it really did.
His paintings tend to be very forgiving, so I was very glad about that.
Oh, I really liked it.
Thank you.
Where does that painting hang that you finished? Is it in your home?
I wanted it, but then also no, I wanted it. I would have put it on my wall. I thought for a second maybe that's not humble and weird, but I was proud of it. But they actually auctioned it off for a charity.
Oh, nice. But now that you know the technique, you're off to the races.
Oh, I have a new career.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably could. I'm sure someone else has already said this to you. And if you haven't already thought of it, you could probably just keep cranking these out.
Yeah, the Chemda Bob Ross, it's like cover bands but painting.
Yeah, or like a collab that everyone, where you like
dead guy. Yeah.
Chemda X Bob Ross.
Ooh, you put an X in anything, and I think it sounds badass and cool. So you're on.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it. But the OMAT, and I didn't know that you were dealing with so much bullshit on top of bullshit, and do you want to talk about that or not really?
Oh yeah, anything. You mean how I got started in it?
Like you got in a bad. What's that?
The woes.
You were having horrible woes.
Yeah. I was having a bad year, and it was the same time that Trump got elected. So, I found out I had a football-sized tumor in my chest in the summer, and in October, 2nd or 3rd, I had an open heart surgery to remove it. They had to cut my diaphragm, so I have a frozen diaphragm. And
what does that mean?
It means that I operate sort of with a half lung capacity. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I don't know. None of that mattered because I was just like, hey, I'm still here. But I also understood that this kind of news I never got before. I never got into physical health problems. Everything had been cool. And I think I was like 39 or 40. And it felt like, all right, I've been cool all this time, been pretty active. Everything's good. Maybe it's my turn to have a little bit. That's fine. But I'm very nervous that I'm going to turn into a really bad patient, which I think you can do pretty easily. You get impatient with the way the whole system goes. You have to go to doctor's appointments. You hear bummer news all the time. Doctors don't have a bedside manner. And I was afraid that I'd get antsy. I had to take time off of work. So I started looking up how to be happy. I sincerely started to make sure, because what I tend to do is something's bad, everything else starts coming in that's bad. As soon as I notice one thing that's bad, and also this thing is bad, and also that thing is bad, and why do I even get out of bed? And so I thought, if I just do that with regular everyday things, I might have a hard time with a tumor and not come back from it. So I started researching how to be happy. And then when I got out of my open heart surgery, about a month or actually 2 months later, I found out that my husband at the time was soliciting women on Craigslist and in other spaces, and had built a relationship. And I don't know how physical anything got, but I found emails and stuff, and it was very explicit. And so that was another cycle, and work was hard because I was out for 2 months and there was a lot of chaos happening. So I went on a 10-day meditation retreat. I visited Hare Krishnas. I did a labyrinth. I went to Al-Anon. I heard TED Talks and interviews and read psychological books. And that's how OMAT came. All these exercises were the things that kept coming up in people who live rich, really happy lives. And by rich, I mean just satisfying, happy, content lives. And those exercises that are part of OMAT are the most essential, the ones that come up all the time. They come up in Buddhism, in, the how to be happy of every version. And I thought, when you're feeling a certain way, you can't do it. There were certain times where I just couldn't take the next step. I just couldn't do anything. And I had convinced myself to do just 1 minute of something to get me to the next 1 minute of something and the next 1 minute of something. And I put that together for maybe other people to try, and they might have a better time going through something. 'Cause obviously you can't never be sad. You'll have to be sad. You'll have to be happy. You'll have to be all those things. This helps me navigate through all the emotions by letting me know what they are, by walking me through it, by not making it this bigger thing and becoming this overwhelm, just walking through 1 minute at a time.
I like that. So basically the things that made you form the regimen or the program is there was like overlap, like everywhere the things you were studying was all pointing a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah, whether you're trying to make a lot of money and be successful that way, you know, what do successful CEOs do, to like, what did the Buddhists do, to, you know, what people think religion is, what is it for other people? Because I was a ardent atheist and, you know, religion ruins everything. And how could you even believe that? And I just became softer in my view. And I'm still an atheist, but I tend to understand other people's words a little bit more and not take them as personally, so I could live a better life.
I like that. And so everyone can go though and check out all these I have it in front of me, but can anyone get to this, or do I have some secret portal?
There's for Keith and the Girl, we have our sort of Patreon version we call a VIP, and we have a bunch of extra content back there. So the original program is there, but we also created a 15-minute OMAT club that I walk people through all 8 exercises in 15 minutes at 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern. And then next weekend, I'm doing 13 back-to-back OMAT clubs every hour on the hour that's free, that anyone can join.
Oh, wow.
Where you could do all
That's
15
amazing.
exercises, no matter where you are, in what country, in what time zone. And you can go to keithandthegirl.com/omatathon. It's a marathon of OMAT clubs. And
it's right there in the name.
Yeah. I got clever.
I love it. I
hope people join. Good.
Someone in the chat asked Chemda about your weed consumption during all of this.
Oh, I am giving myself passes. Yes. yes. My weed consumption, I'm very proud that it didn't go too far where I'm just like, I smoke every second. Although, yeah, so that might not be healthy for my lungs, but because I don't go out a lot, I might have, a couple more joints a day, because that's my, hey, this is us going out, and this is our little treat right now.
Yeah, cutting loose.
Yeah.
Relaxing.
Yeah.
It seems to be very popular in the chat room as well. Shocking. I'm absolutely shocked.
No.
It's a beautiful thing.
Mike Johnson writes, I smoke a lot of weed. A lot illegal here.
New Jersey votes in November.
Cherry Dazzle, oh my God, I love it. I don't know if she's referring to weed, but I assume she might be.
Well, if she's on weed, then she might be referring to everything we've said. And that's
everything,
nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of, I meant this is connected to something we were just saying. The listeners in the chat, if anyone wants to call in, 347-474-0260. That's 347-474-0260. We can if anyone wants, Des has this futuristic phone device. And again, we're raising money tonight for Black Lives Matter. Go to the virtual tip jar, Venmo at the Dave Hill, PayPal Dave at DaveHillOnline.com. We got a few people I want to thank already. Michael Lawless, thank you for your generous donation, and Virginia Craighead. And some more we'll announce later. But give something if you can, and it makes me feel like we're. Oh, listen, we have action music now. See, this is what was missing.
I forgot to tell you guys to play some action music till I got here.
We don't have any action music. The number is 347-474-0260. I don't think we're going to do, Elvira's asking about the video call link. I don't think we're going to do that because we already have 4 people on the screen. Oh. And it just gets too crazy when you get to 5. It gets too crazy. I'm
What
just
is this,
saying
a
that
Saturday
tonight.
night? That's nuts.
Yeah,
we have to
it's
we
too
have
nuts.
to social distance our cameras. So
Yeah, it's too much. So let's just call theater of the mind. Theater of the mind. And so where Chris, can you turn the music down a tiny bit, or I'll fly into a blind rage. This is why I need OMAT. Will it help me curb my rage towards Chris?
it'll at least let you get to know it enough to see if maybe you want to fly into a rage, but you'll have the choice.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have some kind of outlet, and I'm happy to be that outlet for you.
Aw, Chris, you
Just
guys.
punching bag. No, I shouldn't fly into a rage. We don't have the chicken cam either. I feel like Des may be going to get a chicken. Chemda, we sometimes have live chickens on the show.
Of course.
Because that's
I
what
appreciate
we have
it.
to offer.
Mhm.
And when we don't have the content, we have chickens.
Chickens,
But we're not there. What's that?
chickens are sleeping. They put themselves to bed at like 8 o'clock now. They're out of here. They're done for the day. They
Well,
go home.
maybe they haven't heard the music that started this party.
That could get them going.
Oh yeah,
Definitely could.
Gothic Doll 666 asks, "What are the topics for call-ins anyway?" You don't even have to have a topic. Historically, people that call in do not have any. Just call in, whatever you want to talk about. You can talk about what we're talking about, or you can just left field us. I don't even know if that's a verb. I just made that a verb.
Oh, you Shakespeare'd it. Make up the word.
347-474-0260. James,
So a lot of people seem like they really want to check out OMAT.
Oh, yay.
So,
oh yeah. I mean, I know I say this anytime anyone mentions anything on this show, but I truly, in this case, believe, Chemda, you will be feeling the Dave Hill effect. Just the spike in OMAD interest.
I love
people, well, it's obvious. I think it couldn't be a better time for OMAD, because these are times when I think even the happy-go-luckiest of happy-go-lucky people aren't feeling great.
It's a pressure cooker. It's a lot to handle. It's everything that is normal in your life is taking at least 3 times the patience to accomplish in a regular way. I think that takes a lot of energy and a lot of patience, and you got to do whatever you can to sort of maintain and not think ahead so that you're not panicking.
Yeah, it's I'm excited for whenever it is that things get back to some sort of normal.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll all be just like at least vaguely improved, or I guess some people will just be broken forever through this experience. But I don't intend to be one of them. But
that's a good goal. I think that's a very, very good goal to have.
To be broken or to be better than ever?
To be better than ever. To not break. To try not to break.
No, you can't, because what good is that, You can't. You just have to I mean, part of it, when I was watching the news tonight and they were talking about the vaccine progress that, they've been making, when he was like, it may be ready this year, I was like, oh my God, I got to get my shit together. I got to start gathering my things. I'm going to have to get back to work, whatever that is.
How's that going for you? Have you packed?
No. It'll take weeks, months even.
You could be the guy who, hears about it last, like the end of the pandemic, just kind of be the last one out, because you can get comfortable in this space and then just take your time and then come out. Everybody will be there. They'll already be comfortable with hugs and with normal life, so they can sort of carry you into it.
Yeah, and I'll be the last one to the party, and everyone will be like, Dave!
Right.
Dave! And I'll show up, I'll have a mask and rubber gloves on, and be like, no, Dave, you don't have to do that anymore. We're done.
They guide you into taking it off together. We've missed
and they're just
you.
rubbing up on me and whatever.
We're allowed to do that now.
Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. Oh my goodness. James, do we have some calls on hold?
We do. Elvira is on hold. Elvira,
let's do.
Yeah, here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
This is Elvira calling. Elvira Canaveral calling from Minneapolis. Hello.
Oh well.
Oh my gosh.
Can you
what
hear me?
happened?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, some interference would be nice,
okay.
but
yeah, I just can't hear you guys, so I'll talk until I hear Des interrupt me. I want to say, hey, hi guys. It's been a kind of a hell week. I was in the hospital for a while.
Oh no.
I'm type 1 diabetic, and I'm getting older. This human body is falling off, and I have a really good work relationship. I'm a very good patient for my nurses, because I know how to work with them, how to be a good patient, how to be water, how to help them help me. And I become the little happy center of their days, and it helps my time there in the hospital so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we actually want to improve hospital situations, we just need to have better daytime TV access. Bad South Park reruns all day long, and it's so depressing. And when I was walking home from the hospital, I was assaulted. It was the first time I've been physically attacked in like 15 years. I was shuffling home.
Someone.
Yeah, I was shuffling home, and this big black Dodge truck pulls out in front of the alley, and trash is thrown at my feet. And I'm like, and I look down and I channel my inner Kermit the Frog, and I went, really? And this guy in the truck just looks at me and goes, you want some, bitch? You want some, bitch? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, I'm going to give you some, bitch. And he gets out of the car, and I'm like, what is going on here? And there's a woman screaming inside the car going, he's an innocent guy! And I think there's a child in there. I'm like, hey, man, calm down. And he's like, here's some, bitch. And then he swings and hits me in the left side of my head, right against my ear. And it didn't hurt at all. And I just looked at him. And I'm like, really? What do we do now? And then I realized that this was the closest thing I've had to human touch outside of my family. That didn't involve a mask. And what amazed me in that moment is that I could see his teeth, or what were his teeth. I've actually revised the police report a couple times describing his teeth. They were first just described as Nicorette gums kind of going down a frothy vortex. And then a friend of mine said it was a tipped like Confederate tombstones of an abandoned Confederate cemetery north of the Mason-Dixon line.
Ooh.
But
very descriptive.
But the guy hit me.
Painting me a picture with words. I like that.
Yeah, and I just go, really? And I go, and I point around because I live right next to a hospital complex. I'm like, there are cameras everywhere. And I pointed at the building that we're right next to, and like, and this is where the state keeps sex offenders. And he got in his truck. The woman was screaming. There was a kid in there. That's who I'm really worried for, because I've been the kid in the truck when the guy's gone out to beat up people. But they took off, and I filed a report with the local police. Had a nice local police officer, woman of color. We had a fantastic conversation. I asked her how her day was. They took the report, and we'll see where it goes from now. But again, I'm okay. It was a weird thing to just kind of process. The guy was obviously angry about something, and I just happened to be there and be his release point. and I went back to investigate what it was that he threw down at. It was actually a package of half-used Big League Chew bubble gum. So I think what happened was something that it did frustrated him. He threw it out of the truck. It hit me, and he just continued on through with that energy. But yeah,
so he
a woman and I get her okay.
So you think his original intention was to just rid himself of the Big League Chew, but then when you reacted, he flipped out?
Yeah.
Or do you think? And what was you said the woman was yelling something? What was she yelling?
Well, there was a woman in a car that I couldn't see. It was a really bright day, and dark inside the truck, and I could just hear this woman screaming like, "He's an innocent guy! He's an innocent guy! Not again!"
And
wait, the what?
He's an innocent. He's an innocent guy.
Oh,
he's an innocent guy.
Illinois, and I see Illinois plates, and we got a lot of agitators come up to this area to try to start stuff up. Like our local bookshop got burned down by white supremacists, and neighborhoods keep on burning. So and there was all the shootings that were just in there, including the shooting that occurred on our block, literally about 300 feet from where I was standing at that moment. So I didn't know if guns were going to come into this. I just wanted to be like water and get out of that situation. So after he hit me, and I was like, the cameras everywhere, he took off. I was able to get a couple photos of his vehicle, including license plate, and followed through and went in and told my wife. She's watching the. She's like, "You're like, how are you?" I was like, "I just got assaulted." And
wow.
Everybody kind of let them know that I was okay. We went through the thing. It's really weird interacting with the police in Minneapolis right now, considering all the burning.
Why is that?
And also, well, I also work at Target Center doing as a IOPSI stagehand doing audio. So I'm working with cops out on the basketball games normally. And that's where sometimes when I see these cops, they're like, "I know you from somewhere." And they're going through every single criminal database. They're like, "I'm the guy that puts the microphones out." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, it's so nice to see you again."
Now that we know that you're okay, I have to echo what Tracy Dunbar said in the chat. The big takeaway from all this is there's still Big League Chew.
It's good stuff.
That's the most shocking element of this story.
And it smells
not to make light of it.
I love Big League Chew. It's the greatest. It's the greatest candy marketed towards children.
Color purple. The Whoopi Goldberg movie? Yeah, that movie is actually just the visual personification of the smell of purple Big League Chew.
It's good stuff. Wow. I agree with Chris.
Hey, I'm a diabetic. I take anything that's sweet very seriously.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. What now? And this is not saying any of this was your fault in the least.
But what were you? Wearing?
No. Why? What were you? No. Before you even said what happened, you started the story with saying you were in the hospital and you walked home from the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you walking home from the hospital for?
Summertime.
I live next to a hospital. There's
so it wasn't a long walk.
Well, literally a stone's throw. I did it late at night, so I wouldn't hit you.
Okay.
On my porch, and I hit the building.
I just felt
that's how close the building is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just felt so bad that you were in the hospital and walking home. Okay, all right.
And on the other side of that block is our main hospital complex.
So you're like busy during COVID, sounds like?
Well, I have a 5-year-old daughter. And today we started a new project because she's supposed to start kindergarten in the fall. And I don't trust that the system is going to be safe by then. So we started game school where we...
Oh man, do you have to learn 5-year-old math now?
Well, here we're playing Super Mario Galaxy, and we just arrived today. We broke out. I resurrected an old Nintendo Wii. We sit together on the couch, put a little spherical recorder on, and then we just play. And sometimes she wants to play Mario, and she's got the 2 controllers, and she's all running around. And then sometimes she just wants to be the Luma, which is a little side character, which helps out and can freeze things and grab things.
Oh my God, I totally remember that class in high school. Your daughter's so advanced.
Yeah.
Well, we go up to characters, and he's like, she's at the end. She's like, well, what do they say? And they're like, well, sound it out. And then she sounds it out, and then she knows what they say.
Is this how you're convincing your wife that you're totally teaching your daughter, but really you just want to play Nintendo?
That's what I'm hearing.
I play the game even deeper than that. This is what I tell her. I told her that this is to give structured time for Gemma and I to spend together working on games and doing things, so you can get out of the house, so you can work in the basement, so you can work on your own things.
Smooth.
Yeah, and you wear like a big feather so you can peacock while you're talking like that to her, right?
Well, here's a couple things. The reason my wife and I's relationship works is, one, we got married much later. If we would have gotten together earlier, that wouldn't have been a working combination. But we're equal partners, and we know about traditional gender roles and such. I myself am non-binary, and with my relationship with her, I was able to come to terms with that, because I didn't want to make my expression harder for somebody that was in a much more difficult situation. And I was in that weird situation where I have a lot of feminine representations, but I'm not gay. And it just seems to be this weird conservative perversion until we came up with the language. So I now use Elvira Canaveral as a representation of my feminine identity in a mission of radical inclusion.
All right.
So
I like that.
It allows me, who has the privilege of being perceived as a white dude, to use my positions to help other people perhaps understand. And when I explain to people that I came to it while working assistant pyro at an Alice Cooper concert, it gives them a foothold to go, oh, okay, and then usually go,
wait, you realized you were non-binary while working pyro at an? Did I hear that right?
Well, I came to the determination to use Elvira Canaveral as a representation of my feminine identity while I was a female.
While you were doing that. Oh, okay, I got it. I thought you were saying like.
Explain to Dave how wearing a skirt is the coolest, and if people want to come out as Nine Barry just for that.
In my comedy, the nice thing about stand-up comedy, it makes you very, very vulnerable, especially if you make it about yourself, so you can just dump it on you. And the reason I'm not more of a transvestite is my deep love of functional pockets.
Oh, I feel that.
Big
yeah.
Goal to give people working pockets. I know it's hard because you put the female form and you put a pocket, and once you reach a certain capacity, it just explodes. You know.
Oh, honestly,
every day.
Elvira, some heroes have no capes, and some of them have pockets. So thank you for your work.
Yes. This is just yeah. Well, thank you, Elvira. I feel like we've covered a lot of ground tonight for one call. This is.
Thank you very much. I'm going to let you guys go.
I'm sure. I hope we talk to you next week.
Plug, and then
What's that?
I'm going to be playing bass guitar at gameofdeath.com. I'm teaching myself how to play bass guitar, and I built one last week.
Nice.
Oh, nice. All right. Gameofdeath.com.
All right.
Wow.
I forgot. I got to plug something later in the show. You were just reminding me. I'm going to do it. I just put it in the chat.
Pay the bills. Pay the bills. Pay the bills.
All right. Thank you, Elvira. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.
Have a great night. All right. Bye-bye. I forgot to go on about. I'm doing an online show July 28th. I'm going to put the link in the comments. Yeah, put the action music, Chris. It's an online show, and everyone can. And there's a ticket link. It's my one attempt to perform and make money during this entire pandemic. So I'm calling upon all of you
No
to
pressure.
grab
You've performed a
tickets.
bunch.
It's
I guess
this
not
is
like
the
a-
first time I've done like little sets here and there, but this is the first time this Nowhere Comedy Clubs does these. I'm doing like a headlining online show. It's the only time I've done it, and it's probably the only time I will do it. And it's been my only attempt at making a single dollar in the last 4 months.
Are you gonna wear a suit?
No, I've moved on from suits. Yeah, I'm gonna wear a suit after I take it back. So there.
You got that good air conditioning.
I put the link. I think I have the. Let me share, and then we're gonna get. I'll plug it again later. But July 28th, go to nowherecomedyclub.com and get tickets, or I'll be enraged. But let's focus. Our guest tonight, Chemda. Dare we take another call? Do we still have a call there?
Yeah, Jimmy, are you there?
The Pride of Carney. Yeah. I feel like this.
Hey, Dave.
I feel like you'll enjoy this. Hello.
Hey, Dave. How you doing, man?
Hey, Jimmy. How are you? You're on with me and Chemda,
Yes.
and Chris, and Des.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey. Hi, Chemda.
Hi, Jimmy. How are you?
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Hey, Des. Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Talk, Jimmy.
What's going on?
First, I'd like to congratulate you on speaking truth to members of what would be the modern equivalent of the Know Nothing Party.
Oh, yeah.
Very, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I can't help it. Plus, it is Saturday. I didn't have much going on.
If I had been there, I know you would have got jammed up with the dog, but I would have right crossed the guy. I would have stepped into it too. I know violence isn't the answer, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
Yeah. But I don't know. I see. Yeah, but I'm not a fighter. Not with.
I know you're a good guy. No, you had to have your ability playing hockey against older kids. I mean, I'm sure you mixed it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, I can get scrappy out there on the ice. Don't get me wrong, Jimmy. I'm just saying, like, I don't believe in.
It's more when you get to. Well, you're a young man. When you get to my age, it's a little bit unbecoming unless you're tanked up or something.
Are you tanked up?
If you're,
Are you tanked up?
Chemda's asking if you're tanked up.
No, I haven't been tanked up in a while.
What's your party of choice tonight? How are you partying? A nice book?
Oh, no, I'm not doing anything. I really admired your sharing about the difficulties in your life. I'm sorry you went all through that, but you you intuitively went to a really good place. I've been through a lot of dark days, but I tend to turn to things that are worse for me than the actual events that I'm going through. You know.
Yeah, I tend to do that also. It's
2 cases of Amstel Light.
Oh.
2 cases of Amstel Light. What was the second one after the
Artois, and then if they ran out, Heineken even, because when you get to that point, what's 50, 60 calories? You know what I mean?
We're counting calories.
Well, I wouldn't be once I switched from Amstel Light, which is 95, I think, if we can believe the information, if you trust, then to 140 or 150 or whatever. You know, when you have like 30 of something, 95 calories is even high, you know?
Yeah, so, it'll add up. That's why I stop at 1 case of Amstel Light every day. I will not drink more than a case of Amstel Light at a time.
Well, what do you reach now for? Sugar? Trying to punch people?
No. Unfortunately, the thing that's helped me cope for the last 7, 8, maybe even 9 years is Klonopin, which has been. It's not the thing that opens you up like to a whole lot of spiritual stuff. It just kind of makes the pain of life go away, you know?
What's the pain of life?
But I'm titrating down.
What?
I'm down to like 20. I'm down 25% of my long-term dose, and I gotta cut down more. But
who's deciding your dose?
You know.
Yeah. What? Can you not hear? Chemda's asked some great questions, and you keep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Oh no, it's
Can
fine.
you not hear her?
Can you hear me?
No. What did you say?
Well, what you said, it numbs you out from the pain of life. I want to know what the pain of life is, and also you said that you're taking less of a dose. I wonder who's dosing you.
Just general run-of-the-mill existential horror, which I've had since I was very young, even before I knew what the word existential meant. But
does that mean it's stories in your head, or like a focus on the difficulties of everyone, including yourself? Is that what that means?
Yeah, I mean, I focus outward on the sadness of the tragic sense of life.
What do you like about that?
I was a litigator. I was a labor and employment litigator for about 25 years. So I felt like I had some small control in pushing society forward. I practiced a lot of anti-discrimination law and stuff like that. Then, because of my demons and loss of my mom, I lost that gig. No criminal charges, no criminal activity, just borrowing money without telling people.
Oh, there's
another
word for that, but okay.
Misappropriation of funds.
Yeah. So you're white? Is that what you're telling me?
It's not embezzlement. Go to Cape Verde or some stuff, you know, when you just hang out in Kearney and you dipped in and you put it back, you know, it's still not a good thing, but it's, you know.
Oh, loose interpretation. Wow.
Well,
that's why there were.
But Jimmy, you've paid your debt to society, though.
Oh no, I got the death penalty for my career. I still believe I need to redeem myself.
Well, that's what I meant. You're no longer able to work as a lawyer.
Yeah, you can't even be a paralegal in New Jersey, which I think is a little overreaching, but I accept it. You know.
How long has it been?
Yeah.
I was disbarred in 2017. I was suspended in 2015, and my business started falling apart in 14. So I've been out of the game for a while.
What do you love the most about being out of the game?
It's a good question.
Not answering discovery, not slogging through interrogatories, notices to produce. Don't miss the extraordinarily tight deadlines. Some days you're getting yelled at by clients, adversaries, and even once in a while a judge.
What do you like the most about your life now, the new one?
This show, really.
Wow, Dave.
Oh.
You're the drug of choice.
From severe depression. I started calling him like when I was on all my meds and in bed by like 8 o'clock. And he actually got me my first stand-up gig, thanks to him and several of his friends of the show. Bill Dolan,
Yeah, WFMU.
Dave Bamundo.
Great night.
A lot of good people. Yeah.
Wow.
It was the highlight of my one of the highlights of my life, including, I'd say it surpassed graduating Rutgers and law school and everything.
Well, it's the highlight of
Wait,
Dave's life too. That's a twofer. That's great.
Yeah.
It made my heart glad. Like,
you went to Rutgers? That was my
know.
safety school.
That's cool.
Hey, you know, I hate to say,
with my profile, I probably should have been
There we
a
go.
fucking guy, but
wait, now, Jimmy, I hate to interrupt you. I hate to derail what you're talking about, but as anyone has heard you on the show is well aware. Listen, everyone knows you have the voice of an angel. You haven't even mentioned that during
you're
this.
too kind.
And I always, whenever you call into the show, I always feel like it would be a shame if we didn't get you to sing at least just a few bars of something before you go. Just if you, is there any chance we would just even a few bars?
Yeah, let me just put the phone out a little bit.
Don't want to peek.
Just get.
Yeah. Let it breathe a little bit.
It's the Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be, but it wouldn't.
Oh, did we lose him? Oh,
I think that was on me, Dave. I think.
I can't believe it. It seems like every time something goes wrong. Oh, Jimmy, if you're listening, I'm so sorry.
Well, we can't have everything. That would be too much.
I'm so sorry, Jimmy. I don't know what happened.
Hard times. It's okay. He'll be all right. He can roll.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, Jimmy, thank you. And thanks for sharing. If anyone wants to call in 347-474-0260, that's 347-474-0260. And please help us raise some money for Black Lives Matter through virtual tip jar, Venmo at Dave Hill, PayPal Dave at DaveHillOnline.com. And all the money we collect tonight will be donated in the name of this show and its listeners. I feel like the last two the last call, especially Jimmy, could very much benefit from OMAT. I mean, anyone could.
Totally.
Sure. Yeah. Come to the Omatathon. KeithandTheGirl.com/Omatathon.
Omatathon.
It's free.
And that's this Saturday?
A week from Sunday, August 2nd. But you got to register ahead of time because there's a few spots in every hour.
Oh wow. Okay, excellent. And so that's gonna be a long day for you.
Yeah. I love the challenge. I like doing the thing over and over again and finding what I'm going to say about the same exercises. And I'm just kind of telling the truth about it. And so reiterating it to myself is really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Finding what I like about it again. It's nice. So it's a great opportunity.
Do you practice it daily yourself still?
I practice some of the exercises. The 15-minute OMAT club is to literally walk you through 15 minutes, just kind of get it done. But I do some yoga. I do some of the gratitude. I do the planking. So I sprinkle it. And then sometimes when I need to reach for something, I'll do the entire routine. So originally it was it was one exercise every week so that you get into the habit of interrupting whatever your version of a rut is, so that you can interrupt that and have other choices. So now I'm able to do 10 minutes of yoga and I'm bike riding for, half hour. So it's just kind of like getting you going. And then it gives you something that you can do in 1 minute every day to say, all right, I was conscious, I made a decision and it was a healthy one. And now I can be a little less overwhelmed.
Nice. I like that. So everyone, Chris has put the link there.
Thank you.
KeithandTheGirl.com/Omatathon. That's right.
Sorry,
that's the link, right?
I put /OMAT.
I know.
That's also a good link. Yeah. That goes to the 1 week program. You could So the OMAD-a-thon is once every hour, but if you sign up for OMAD Club, you could sign up for a week where you come in every morning, or 4 weeks where you come every morning. So /OMAD works and /OMAD-a-thon works too.
Excellent.
So Chris is not wrong. He's never wrong.
He's not wrong.
We try to catch him.
About to.
We shouldn't do it.
I was about to flip out. Well, we have some calls on hold, I believe. Should we take some calls? Let's take them quickly because we don't have a lot of time.
Okay, yeah, we got John in Ohio. You there, John? Hello, John.
Hello?
Yeah, how y'all doing tonight?
There he is.
Good. How are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
hello, John.
Fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Thanks for calling. Where are you in Ohio?
Monroe.
Oh, beautiful this time of year. What's going on tonight?
Oh, not a whole lot. Kind of unrelated to what I originally called to talk about, but I can personally vouch for OMAD. As you get older, like it's a little bit harder to keep the weight off, but I felt that switching over to that actually, kind of helped me keep a constant weight, even though you're getting older and put on weight every year. So I can personally attest to that as well.
Yay!
Nice. Oh, so you've been doing the OMAD program?
Yeah, I actually got into it probably, I want to say about 7 years ago with, can't remember the guy's name. First name's Ori, but it was the Warrior Diet book.
I don't know that. Do you know that, Chemda?
Yeah, it was like, it's like an Israeli, I believe, but yeah, he wrote a book called The Warrior Diet, and it's basically OMAD. I don't know if it differs from the protocol that y'all do, but I'm not giving it a plug or anything. I'm just saying that he was the first person I ever saw talk about it. So.
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
But Chemda is the best person. Bring it back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, I don't want to come on and plug someone else, but yeah, it was just my personal experience with it.
Is that also
Cool.
Does that also stand for 1 minute at a time, or is it something different?
Oh wait, hold on. I thought you were saying OMAD as in like OMAD.
No, we're doing different drugs, but they're close.
Do you wait?
Okay, wow.
That's one
I'm
meal a day.
I'm talking about a diet where you eat 1 meal a day and it keeps your weight down.
Oh, okay. No wonder I was so confused, and I was just going with it.
I was a little confused because he said he's been doing it for 7 years, but I put it out.
I thought he was accusing you of plagiarism.
Oh wow!
I was confused. I was like, oh, is this like a universal thing, and I'm not understanding? Oh my gosh!
No,
I'm glad we cleared this up.
This is me misunderstanding here, so comedy of errors, if you will.
I was just going. I was like, okay, all right. I don't know what's happening, but
I like it because you probably cleared it up for somebody else too.
Yeah. It's all this. This is perfect. Well, thank you so much, John. All positive things. I like it.
You're the caller we needed.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I hope that the OMAT with a T works out for you. But I guess I was calling in tonight. I was calling in tonight to discuss something different though, and I don't really know what the viewer base of the show is as far as
it's you now.
Meetings, oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying that I'm just curious. Like, I noticed that the show is dedicated to raising money for Black Lives Matter and for I think one other charity it looks like. But I guess I'm just curious, like, why should me as a white man support Black Lives Matter? Like, I'm genuinely curious. I'm not trying to start a unfriendly debate or anything like that here. Like, I'm just genuinely curious.
What have you heard so far about it?
Well, a lot of the stuff obviously is going to be biased coming from one side or the other, but it appears to be like advocating for equal treatment of Black people in America and really of all colored people in America. But it's I guess there are parts of it that I see that get put out as far as like dismantling whiteness and white supremacy.
Would you like to keep white supremacy?
Well, it's not that I want to keep white supremacy, but I guess I'm just curious to what benefit. So the concept of white privilege obviously is in the forefront of a lot of people's minds right now. But in that
it's
sense,
very simple.
Supposedly,
what's that?
Go ahead.
It's just a very simple concept that all people we're equals, and that's it. That's the simple answer.
Sure, but I guess in like a society like this where it's kind of more individualistic and the American dream and all that, like if someone is benefiting from this white privilege, why should they be inclined to give it up? I guess.
So you're worried about losing your cut?
Well, I think. Wait, what did you say, Des?
I asked if he's like. It sounds like he's worried about losing his cut or like losing his plate. The size of his portion is getting. Is that it? Like you're worried something's going to be taken from you in order for the scale to get balanced? Is that your concern?
Well, like there's only so many jobs and everything like that, and so when you think about it, like as a human, as an animal, like you want the best for your kids, and if you have kids that are coming into this world now, it can be as far as competition goes, it can make things a little bit harder for them, I guess you could say. So as in good faith, like as a parent, like how would you
I would say, I mean, it would
manly white privilege.
Well, are you married? Are you married?
I am married, yes.
You are. So
yeah.
History also tells us that are you married to a woman?
Yes.
So she actually would have to listen to you, and she is second in command to your lead. Do you operate that way also? That works for your benefit. Why would you even let her speak?
Well, because she has good things to say. I mean, I consider we're not really religious, but she does she is like somewhat, I don't want to say subordinate to me, but she looks to me for leadership a lot of the time. But she's also my guide. At the end of the day, like I couldn't do what I do without her. And so, I mean, even though it does appear that way, like it's just part of. I mean, she really does make me a better man, and I know that I make her a better woman. But
then maybe you can apply that. Maybe you can apply that to black and white, right? So maybe you can share in that because it somehow makes your life better to treat your wife in that way and to make her an equal. It somehow benefits your life, even though technically it might not add up like that. If you phrase it like, I'm going to get my power taken away. You're saying that your power is elevated through your wife's power. And you help each other because we all affect each other. So if one race of people are less, I think ultimately we're not really benefiting. It's just creating chaos, as you can see, even on a level that's just personal to you about what you're going to get out of this as a Christian, as a religious person. What do you get out of that when you're in church by saying, and also with you? What do you get out of that?
Yeah.
Oh well, no, we're not religious. Like we're not Christians or anything like that. Both of us are agnostic, but we do tend to like gravitate more towards nature, I guess, as a guide. But
this isn't winner take all, though, right?
Difference between. Sorry.
This isn't winner take all. Why would you give to charity at all? Why would you give to somebody who is, who needs something, anything? Why do you give anything?
Well, I guess, I guess you can say we're consistent about our beliefs because we don't really give to charity.
Have you ever needed anything?
If I did, I just went and got it or made it.
Because it was available?
How would you feel if some guy, you're talking about you and your kids and stuff. How would you feel if someone else was saying, I hope John and his kids don't get what they need because that might mess my whole thing up. How would you feel? That's essentially what you're saying.
System. That's kind of how people act. Like that's how it is, whether it's spoken or unspoken.
Well, yeah, but the whole idea is that maybe it shouldn't be that way.
Sure, but we live in a we live on a planet of limited resources. I mean, there's only so much of everything to go around, and with everyone vying for the highest quality of life possible, it just it becomes a question of like, do you want to become the sacrificial lamb for someone else when they may or may not do that for you? It goes into game theory a little bit as well.
What do you do for a living, may I ask?
So I work at a machine shop.
Let me tell you something. You're already the sacrificial lamb, pal. You're already the sacrificial lamb. You don't even know it. You're being slaughtered. If you're working in a machine plant, you're already so far down, and you don't even know it. I mean, you're kidding yourself with this talk.
Well, I mean, I get what I need. I wouldn't say like we want for anything. I mean, I do pretty well. I get paid, but I mean, the machine.
Yeah, but you're a pawn. If you're working in a machine shop, you're already so far down. You should be begging for the kind of equality we're talking about.
Yeah, but if he wants for nothing, then why are you concerned with the limited resources?
Because they can dry up, and like if you have kids and with the way that the economy and everything is going, it's not always going to be like that. Right now we're, at least before this year, we were benefiting from a pretty decent economy overall. But
and then what happened?
Both foreign and domestic can that can change in a second.
So what will happen if it changes? We're all going to have to fight black people?
Well, no. I mean, it's not. And I don't think it's about race necessarily. And the only
I would go after the guy who owns the shop that you work at. That's who I would go after.
Well, no. So I'm the foreman, and it's a family business. So it'd be kind of like cutting my own throat.
Maybe you should.
All
right. Well, we're unfortunately out of time. I encourage you to go to Black Lives Matter, their website. That's probably a great place to get reading.
I encourage you to meet a black person.
I've been there. I just don't resonate with it. It's like kind of doing my own thing over here.
How's that working out?
He wants for nothing.
He wants for
pretty good for now, but who knows what could happen.
You got yours, bro. It's all good.
All right, James, something's wrong with the phone. All right. Well, thank you so much. I think, do we have one more call there, James?
Let me see.
Oh, boy.
Caller, you there? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead. Say hi to Dave.
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
Who's on the call? Who's on the phone?
Mike Johnson from Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, Mike Johnson. I have a feeling you're going to have a wildly different viewpoint from our last caller.
Completely fucking opposite. Holy
which we welcome.
That rage humda, it's here. It's here.
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Wait, what? I'm sorry, what?
Oh, my God. What Chemda was talking about earlier in terms of that rage coming out when you hear such stupid things.
He's reacting.
Yeah.
I listened to that whole conversation. It was ridiculous. Absolutely 100% idiotic and ridiculous. His mama raised him. His daddy raised him. Somebody helped him. He can't go through life saying that he never received any help.
This is the importance of the message. This is what people are up against. The tacit unacknowledgement of the stark difference of life between the privileged and the not privileged. It's not even just about color. It's, being white also does come with a responsible, heavy privilege. You got to face the facts.
Yeah, I mean, I think that guy, just ignorant guy,
he's
unfortunately. What's that?
He's in a safe spot.
And my children, I look at my family, I look at my wife. I'm not white. My wife is white. My whole life, even my family members, certain members of my family members, made it known about how I wasn't white. I mean, these are like family members, your own family saying this stuff to you. I don't get it. I don't understand where the hatred comes from. I don't understand where the resentment comes from. Everybody wants to see their babies flourish, to grow, to blossom, to become amazing human beings, but not while taking or keeping everything for yourself. I'm sorry, if I see others suffering out there in the world, I don't look at my life and be like, oh my God, I've got it so good. Look at how pathetic they are. I think that is like the wrong mindset to be going into this reality. There are a lot of people hurting, a lot of people that need help. And to be so tone deaf and not understand any plight or to not sympathize or empathize with people of color, and to make it about I want more stuff. I mean, this is ridiculous.
He was very scared that his stuff will run out.
Yeah.
He's acknowledging that he has the stuff and that at any minute, and somebody's teaching us this, at any minute it could all go away. And then what will I have if everyone's equal? Then I have to fight the same equal fight. And I'm not sure if I'm ready. And in a huge way, he's probably right. He's not, because he didn't have to.
He's woefully unprepared. It's really interesting to hear lower income workers, blue collar workers, I guess you'd want to call them, talk about how they're special because they've got I guess a trade. And what they don't realize is once all the rich white people are done with all the people of color, they're going to go after the poor white people. They're going to be the next target. As a matter of fact, they already are. They're already part of the problem. It's funny because they think they're part of the solution. They're, like Dave said, they're completely daft. They're already sunk. They're already done. They didn't have the genetic lottery like other people, Gates and millions of other rich white men have in this country. But it's interesting to see the psychology of the blue collar white man thinking like he's one of them. I hate to break it to them. Just like Dave said, you're no different than me, a color boy. You're just not. Now, funny enough, I have 2 advanced degrees, but interestingly enough, those white supremacists look at that guy and think of them as much higher and far greater contributor to society than, say, like a teacher, a doctor, or somebody else who's actually contributing something meaningful to society.
There's a passive ignorance to it that's really dangerous, because he doesn't, he's just going along. He's not worried even about anybody else's thing. For lack of a better expression, at least the active white supremacist is out there and identifying himself. And this is somebody we got to keep an eye on. But there are a million, countless number of people like John who are just going through, doing their thing, not even considering how difficult it can be to get by. Because they're so concerned making sure that theirs is squared up and taken care of.
Well, I understand taking care of your own. I mean, as a father, as a husband, I take that responsibility seriously. But to say that, and not to use this term lightly, to step on people's necks to get what you want and be comfortable about that, what are you teaching your children?
Yeah.
There's a thing about the American dream is to be rich, and it's been promised. And so a lot of people see themselves as future rich people, and it's just about to happen. So when people talk about poor or blue collar, or however you want to phrase it, working man, it's not them. It's them temporarily. they'll be right back with the riches. And then that's who Trump is talking about. That's who Trump is going to help. That's
never going to happen.
club.
Trump inherited
Right.
his entire wealth, and then he squandered almost all of it away. And I don't know why people think he's like this really brilliant genius about making money. The guy lost $1.8 billion in 10 years. $1.8 billion.
Oh, yeah.
And his casinos failed, which is pretty much
He
statistically
couldn't sell
impossible to
vodka.
do.
Who can't sell vodka?
His campaign's failing. His children are failing. The guy's a complete failure, and everybody looks up to him. He's a misogynistic, bigoted asshole. And he's no role model for any child. For any child.
Yeah, but
No,
if you look back at our history with Trump, we considered him equivalent to money talk. So if you listen to rap songs back in the day and other references for Trump, we were referencing him like we were referencing Rockefeller. So I don't know if that's just good PR or he had money for 5 seconds and that's when he pushed his message. That's originally how we equated him. And we definitely know more now and we know that that's not true. But I don't know that everybody got that message because the brand was so good.
That's absolutely right.
Today that still feel like that guy can do no wrong, and it's mind-boggling. Like I don't understand it. And now he wants to reopen schools and take away federal money from schools that don't have in-person classes. Is he trying to kill our kids now?
Yeah.
He's trying to take everyone down with him.
We're I hate to do this, but we're over time already. And I feel like if we go down this path, we're gonna be on till 3 a.m. What's that, Mike?
I'm sorry. I want to talk about happy stuff. I want to talk about your show on the 28th. I want to talk about.
Oh, thank you. I was trying to figure out and was racking my brain. How am I going to plug my show after all this? It's going to be so hard. But you've done it for me.
I want to talk about those happy things. I want to talk about your show on the 28th. I want to talk about your new book that's out on paperback, Parking the Moose. I want to talk about happy things. But
thank you for plugging all that stuff. It would have been so weird if I had done it. Yeah, it's 28th, nowherecomedyclub.com. Get to you. No, we'll pick it up next week and we'll keep it cheery. And we'll, but I want to thank Chemda and everyone. Go to keithandthegirl.com/Omatathon or OMAT. I think we all need it now more than ever. And I want to thank you, echoing in the comments section. You, the caller prior to Mike. I feel like Chemda, you handled him so well, and you kept me calm, and I didn't just yell at him, which was my instinct, of course, and I stayed calmer than I would have. So you're rubbing off. You're making me a better person.
I'm rubbing on people. Rubbing off on people.
Well, thank you, Mike. Well, hopefully we'll hear from you next week.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, take care.
Bye, Mike.
Sorry for we're running late here. But thank you for everything, Chemda.
That was it was so great. Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you for everyone listening. And I'm gonna do a whole thank you speech, but definitely shut off my mic and raise the music. I appreciate it. It was really fun.
Yeah, thanks everybody, and thanks to Des and Chris. And I'm just gonna thanks to Mike. I don't feel bad just putting that ticket link back in the. We really covered a lot of ground. From Big League Chew to racists in Southern Ohio, we've done it all tonight.
Yep.
But everyone, I'm the Omatathon a week from Sunday.
Yep, August 2nd.
August 2nd. I can't believe it. August 2nd, coming fast and hard.
No, don't even think about it yet. Except going to a marathon.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to hit the end broadcast.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
to everyone. All right.
Good seeing you.